A series of lectures by Professor George Phillies, based on his books with Tom Vasel, Design Elements of Contemporary Strategy Games, Contemporary Perspectives on Game Design, both available from Third Millennium. The course has two primary objectives. The first is to broaden the consciousness of the students taking it to show them that there is a much wider range of games than first-person shooters. The second objective of the course is to take students who may be computer science majors in addition, or who may be artistic majors or music majors in addition, and show them what is actually going on in designing a game without getting bogged down in coding or artistic design issues. Part of the course is reading. We discuss two things: variables that control what a game is like, and then advice on game design from masters of game designing. I do writing assignments to focus the students and make them think about the material. There are associated laboratories to introduce different types of games and to teach how to do playtesting, first of small projects and then of the major design project. Yes, the course culminates in a design project. Each group of students, or in a few cases single students, designs and playtests a board game and hopefully gets something that you'd enjoy playing out of it. Why board game design? Why not do a computer game? The answer is that in board game design, you don't have any code problems. You don't have any art problems. You just have the game itself. Furthermore, board game designers can't hide behind their fancy code. There isn't any. They can't hide behind incredible snazzy front-end artwork. There isn't any. The only thing that board game designers can deliver to give a good game is content. And content is where, if you want a good game, you have to deliver. Greg Kostikian did a fine essay on that. In fact, he's done several fine essays, and you can read copies of them that he let me reprint in our two books. A major part of the course is to introduce a typology of types of games. Actually, typology oversimplifies it because there are a whole series of different classes of variables that we have to talk about. Material components, types of games, themes, mechanics, shape, voice. The first and the final two categories are fairly novel in my course. You won't find them discussed a great deal anywhere else. A first class of variables is described by the material components, the physical realization of the game. You have board games, miniatures played with toy soldiers, diplomatic games, computer games, live-action games, role games, collectible games, and several additional categories. Types of games: you have race games, first to finish, trick-taking games, bridge, modern board war games, not to be confused with light war games, exploration games, progress games, everyone does the same course and scores points, shooters, and many more. Then there is the theme of the game. It may be a historical period, ancient Rome, Napoleonic Europe. It may be a type of economic activity, railroads, a category of human behavior, pirates, westerns. There are huge numbers of different themes. Remember, themes and types of game and material realizations are all completely independent variables. Now we come to mechanics. Mechanics are the things, the nuts and bolts and gears and cams, you combine in an ingenious way to generate the game. There are all sorts of mechanics. Trick-taking can be a mechanic as well as a type of game. One can have random events, draw a card to learn the weather. One can have programmed movement. You write down now what will happen 2 turns in advance. You can have map gridding, trade, economics, production that is more or less complicated. There are a huge number of mechanics, and you can abstract mechanics from games and realize, for example, that the map grid, hexagon or octagon or square or area, is something that is completely independent of the particular game in which it is found. All of these things that we're talking about, mechanics and type of game and so on, we're introducing for a key reason: to broaden the introduction of games and to broaden the thinking of the game designer, the student. As a variable in game design, shape is often not given the emphasis that it deserves. However, we can imagine at one hand scissors, paper, rock played with fingers in the space of a few seconds. At another end, we have Campaign for North Africa, usefully played by 2 teams of 5 players, 2 of whom only handle logistics and never go anywhere near World War II combat. Shape is the space the game occupies in the player's life. Some categories of games, Eurogames, are actually defined by their shape. When you talk about shape, you force the student to ask himself what the game is going to be like, what the game experience is going to be like for the player. Voice is the literary voice. One can write in first person, second person, third person. One can write in singular or plural. One can use the style of that great Victorian author Bulwer Lytton, the authorial omniscient style. And in game design, you can actually use all of those voices. A novelist might strain to use second person, but "You see a stairway leading up" is beloved of all game designers of that type of game, now isn't it? Voice is a singular part of game design which you can rise beyond. Authors think they are limited to single points of view. There is no rationale for game designers to be subject to the same limitation. My course spends half a term discussing game variables. The book on elements of game design not only treats those variables, but lists a whole series of games, describes their rules in a page or 2, and includes a synoptic index so that students looking for examples of trick-taking games can find names and titles and descriptions of what trick-taking games are doing. Another part of the course is teaching playtesting and game design and responding to designs by looking at the playtest results. And the last part of the course, beyond the design project, requires students to confront mentors, listen to what they're saying, and give their responses. That's the course I teach. Those are the books. Future lectures will expand on what you've heard here.